Welcome back to Eastland English. We are your hosts, Robert
and Yudee.
This is English Listening Test, Talks number 1.
There are 5 talks using a variety of topics. You will see 3 listening comprehension questions per talk.
After all 5 talks, we'll give you the answers and tips for each one. We'll highlight the relevant text, keywords, and phrases to help you out.
Directions. Listen to the 5 talks. Scan the 3 questions for each talk. Choose the best response for each question.
After the talks, the questions are read with a short pause for you to answer. We highly recommend that you choose all of your answers during the allotted time and do not use the subtitles. If you use subtitles, you won't be testing your listening skill. You'll only test your reading skill.
Questions 1 to 3 refer to the following radio broadcast.
Good morning, commuters. This is Ken Rockwell with our first weekly update, bringing you your weather forecast and tips for your commute today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week. It's a great Monday for everyone headed to work. The skies are blue, the roads are relatively clear, and there are no accidents today. This evening's drive home should be more of the same as the weather looks like it will hold steady throughout the day. Not so for tomorrow. Meteorologists from the government weather station predict a low front is moving in overnight, bringing scattered showers and heavy rain in the early a.m. The roads are going to be wet, so slow down and drive safely. This low pressure system is expected to remain in the area for a few days before clearing up at the end of the work week. Unfortunately, for those of you planning a picnic on the weekend, the low front will be replaced by a high-pressure system moving in from the north, bringing bitter cold with it on Saturday morning. So, instead of wearing shorts and t-shirts to your weekend picnic, you'd better unpack your sweaters and long underwear. Although it will be sunny, this is hardly going to be eating outside weather unless you like it cold. Question number 1.
Who is the target audience for this radio broadcast?
Number 2.
When will the weather turn unfavorable for the target audience?
Number 3.
What does Ken imply in his final sentence? Questions 4 to 6 refer to the following excerpt from a documentary.
All is quiet in the forest. The sun has long since set. The moon has only just risen. A sliver of silver above the horizon, framed by the jagged peaks of the mountain range bordering the forest. This is the home and hunting grounds of the silent night hunter, the midnight killer, the great gray owl. What makes this predator so successful? Is it possibly its size? Although not as heavy as its cousin, the horned owl, the great gray is the largest of all owl species. Its success as a hunter is due to its ability to take its target by surprise. This nocturnal assassin is an expert at ambushing its prey, taking it unawares from above, and carrying it away to its doom. It hunts best at night, on nights like these that are quiet and dark. It sits and waits on a tree stump, tuning its ears to the forest around, listening for the smallest of noises. A rat, a mole, or a vole foraging in the dark. The great gray's hearing is so sharp, it can detect the rodent's movement, even in winter, under a thick blanket of snow. Now, let us watch as the target has been located. The owl takes flight, gaining height, speed, and momentum. Now it swoops down upon its prey, an unsuspecting rodent. and clasps it in its talons, crushing the life out of its feast.
Number 4.
What is this documentary mainly about?
Number 5.
What is meant by the phrase nocturnal assassin?
Number 6.
What is likely to happen next in the documentary? Questions 7 to 9 refer to the following talk from a tour guide at a museum.
Welcome, everyone, to the National History Museum. I'm Derek, your scheduled guide for the 2 o'clock tour. Unfortunately, due to the holiday weekend causing such a large number of visitors today, the museum has oversold the number of tickets for this tour. This is clearly our mistake. However, museum regulations state that tour groups must be limited to 50 people each. So, we will have to split the 1 p.m. tour into 2 separate groups, one of which will go with me. I will take my group to the West Building first. The other group will be led by Nancy, my colleague, who will take her group to the East Building first. As these 2 groups will not meet again until after the tour, we recommend that family members stick together and all children under the age of 12 must be accompanied by an adult. If your ticket number is 1 to 50, please move to this side of the gallery next to me. If you have a ticket number over 50, please stand next to Nancy over there. If this division has separated any families, or you would like to switch groups, please let Nancy or me know before we start the tour, and we'll fix it for you. We apologize for any inconvenience this has caused. If you would like a full refund, please present your ticket at the ticket counter before the tour begins. Number 7.
What is the main problem according to Derek?
Number 8.
What does he suggest to solve this problem?
Number 9.
What will likely happen to families on this tour? Questions 10 to 12 refer to the following announcement at an airport.
Attention, please. This announcement is for all passengers departing this evening from Terminal B. A mechanical issue with an aircraft on the main runway has caused a delay for all departures from this terminal. Please be advised that no one has been injured and there is no imminent danger to anyone. However, as a safety precaution, all departing flights will be rerouted to our secondary runway. This will cause a delay of up to an hour for all flights departing from Terminal B. Flights from Terminal A will not be affected. For those flights experiencing delays in departure, the pilots offer their assurance that the late takeoff times will not affect arrival times at your destination. All time lost because of this delay can be made up in the air. All passengers should check the departures board for updated information regarding their flight as we manage this issue. Thank you for your attention. Number 10.
Who is this announcement intended for?
Number 11.
What are the main effects of the problem at the airport?
Number 12.
What should passengers do to get more information regarding the problem? Questions 13 to 15 refer to the following excerpt from a business meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, I have called this meeting to report about our latest product, the Fans Fan, which, as you know, is a portable solar-powered personal fan, specifically marketed to football fans who attend outdoor games, but has since been purchased by many spectators of other outdoor events. Although the rollout was slow, the break-even point was met 2 weeks early, and since then we have seen sales skyrocket. This journey has been by no means easy. We have had two main problems since the launch of this product, from the relatively small issue of color choice to a major problem with the solar cells. Our marketing department solved the color choice quickly by calling the manufacturer and ordering models in blue and red to go along with the black and white ones we already had in stock. Our only small hurdle was the fact that some customers wanted a green fan, and our factory did not have the requisite dye, so we were unable to provide a fifth color to meet that demand. Our sales department made the decision on the fly to offer a small discount on available colors to those customers who originally wanted the green fans and were able to sell our product to over 80% of those who got their second choice of color. Our biggest issue was, as I mentioned before, a technical one with the solar cells, but we solved that problem within a week. Number 13.
Who are the target customers for the product mentioned in this excerpt?
Number 14.
What can be inferred regarding the relative success of the product?
Number 15.
How many customers purchased a green fan?
We hope you have your answers written down. Now let's check each one of the questions. Questions about target audience are common in English proficiency tests. Target audience means who is it intended for. This is not the same thing as everybody who listens to it. We'll now show you the pertinent text and highlight some of the key words. Commuters is another word for people who drive to work. There are many other key phrases that can help you, but here's another one. This radio broadcast is not targeted to general listeners. Neither is it intended for people who are just interested in the weather. Even though picnickers are mentioned at the end of the radio broadcast, due to the number of driving references, this radio broadcast is only intended for people who drive to work. In question number 2, the phrase turn unfavorable means go bad or become bad. In order to determine this, we need to know what day it is. Ken clearly states that it's a great Monday, and that means that the weather is good and it is Monday. He goes on to report that the skies are blue, that there are no rain clouds in the sky. Hold steady throughout the day is another way of saying that the weather will not change on Monday. The words not so mean it's not true. Not so for tomorrow means it will not be true for Tuesday. The rest of the text has other clues that you can find on your own. Even though the weekend was mentioned as having bad weather for picnickers, it's bad weather for people eating outside, not for people who drive to work. Tomorrow equals Tuesday for someone speaking on Monday. B is the best choice. Question number 3 has a familiar word in it as well for those of you who have taken English proficiency tests before. Imply is another word for mean. We must deduce or infer his opinion. Unfortunately means it's bad luck. Bitter cold means very cold, and the adjective bitter is used with negative connotations, which means it's usually a negative thing. Hardly going to be means not likely to be or not very much. With this information, we can make some logical guesses regarding his opinion. Ken thinks that eating outside in the cold weather is not a good idea. For Talk 2, in question number 4, we have a main idea question. Although the forest and a natural environment are both mentioned, these are just setting the scene for the main player. Drama and some nature documentaries use sentences to set the scene for the main character. In this case, it's the great gray owl. The main idea is not the weather in the forest, and it's not about the natural environment. These are scene-setting sentences. Although rodents' living habits are mentioned, they are not the main characters. Winged is an adjective meaning it has wings. Question number 5 is testing your ability to find context clues or guess the meaning of words from context.
Assassin means trained killer.
The writing of this documentary is similar to drama. It uses appositives or repeated metaphors. Another thing that an assassin does is sneak attack. Ambush is another word for sneak attack. A target is the victim of an assassin. Prey is another word for the target of a hunter. Nocturnal is an adjective that means nighttime. B is the best choice. Question 6 requires that you deduce or infer what will happen after the last line. There are a series of actions told in sequence. Swoops down means to dive from higher in the air. As you remember from the last question, prey means the target. This time it's a rodent. We have enough information now to delete some of the possible answers. For choice A, rodent is the prey, and the owl has already killed it. Vole is a word that sounds like owl, but is given before in the talk as an example of a rodent. Feast is a synonym for meal. The horned owl was given as another example in comparison to the gray owl, but this documentary is about the gray owl, and it has just killed its meal. It will likely eat. Question 7 is similar to a main idea, but it's more specific. What's the main problem according to Derek? So what is Derek's big problem? Due to this information, we can immediately eliminate option C because it's about Nancy. Derek is the one with the problem. Nancy is helping him solve his problem. He expresses that he has too many people on his tour. While it may be true that both A and B are facts, they are not Derek's specific problem. We now know what Derek's problem is. There are too many people on the tour. So how does he solve this problem? Nancy will not take his tour, he'll take half of his tourists. Even though the groups will meet again after the tour, it doesn't actually solve his problem. Although D is a solution to a problem, it's a solution to the tourists' problem, not Derek's. C is the best choice in this case. Number 9 asks you to infer again. You're using your best guess. Not all this information is stated directly. Our first clue is the fact that Derek recommends that families stick together. He also states that children must be accompanied by an adult. C is not correct because it could be Nancy or Derek with families. Derek and Nancy offer to solve this problem for the families. The families can take the tour together. Question number 10 regarding Talk 4 is similar to the first question. We're looking for the target audience. Although the words all passengers are mentioned, they go on to specify it's only the passengers leaving from Terminal B. B is the obvious choice in this case. 11 is a more specific question than a main idea question. We're looking for the effects of the problem. If you remember from the talk, the problem was an aircraft that had broken down on the main runway. A is clearly not true. Similarly, the announcement stated that there was no imminent danger to anyone. There is no mention whatsoever of anyone missing their flight. A delay at an airport means that people will leave later than scheduled. The key word in question number 12 is passengers. This will help us eliminate one of the options right away. Newspapers are printed daily and they're for the general population. Even an online newspaper would be a poor way to get up-to-date information at an airport. The word monitor in option A means to check routinely or observe. The departures board at an airport is an up-to-date schedule. All of the times of the departures are routinely updated on this board. Although it's true that there could be a next announcement, none was mentioned. Furthermore, in option D, it wouldn't be relevant to ask for information about Terminal B at Terminal A. For Talk 5, they're talking about a product, and the target customers for the product are the people who are marketed to, the ones that you expect to buy your product. Solar powered means powered by the sun, and if you are clever, you can guess that the sun cannot power anything indoors. Similarly, all sports enthusiasts would include people who watch sports indoors. Although this fan has been purchased by people who attend all outdoor events, it wasn't specifically marketed to them. The target customers are people who watch sports outdoors. Inferred is a word that is common in English proficiency tests. It means that you have to guess what's happening, or guess the answer. There are clues available to you, but the answer is not specifically stated. These clues should all relate to how well the product did. Rollout is a synonym for product launch. Initially, sales were slow, so we can delete A. The phrase 2 weeks early means things did not go quite as planned, therefore we can delete B. Even though there were problems with the product, the problems were not with the marketing campaign. C is the correct option. This one is not particularly easy. The key to this question is how many people got a green fan? According to the excerpt, people did want the green fan, so the company tried to produce them. However, the manufacturer couldn't. Requisite means necessary or needed. The factory did not have the necessary dye. 4 other colors were mentioned before the green one, so the 5th color is green. The answer to this question is that nobody got them because they couldn't make them. They didn't buy green. All of the other numbers are distractions.
Thanks for learning with us. We hope you were able to improve your listening skill.
Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Don't forget, click the bell.
That way you'll be notified every time we make a new video. See you around.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.